Hello, hello, hello. It's your girl Erica, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate your support. I am very new to the YouTube streets. As a matter of fact, I just started recording at the top of the new year. That was actually my goal, was to start doing some fun things here on YouTube for the new year, and I actually started. So I am actually proud of me. I've already done the entire, I've done season 11 of Married to Medicine, I'm sorry, which is my favorite Bravo show. So I've caught up with all of that. I've done the reviews on that, and I actually did a review on episode 15 of Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City's season has been flawless. They are actually at the very end of their season. So I'm not going to try to go back and try to actually, do reviews for every single episode, but I was able to do, of course, the last episode. And then I think we have one more, which is the season finale. So I will kind of go forward from here with Salt Lake City. But again, they had a flawless season. I am a reality TV show fan. I love reality TV, and I actually watch all of the Housewives franchises. So I will be doing a lot more with some of the other franchises as they come out or as their seasons come along. But again, I just wanted to do something for Salt Lake City because they've had such a great year. They've had such a great season. Flawless. Every single episode was great. But I've also done Married to Medicine because Married to Medicine is actually my favorite show on Bravo. It used to be The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like I said in my first video, Married to Medicine after season 5, they came knocking that door down, and they are really, really good. So I just also wanted to review them. But again, thank you for actually just viewing my videos. I have seen where, some of the, I guess it's been picking up momentum and people are watching. So I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'm actually here today to discuss the state of the Real Housewives of Potomac. Should Karen be fired or shouldn't she? That is the question. I have not actually, I don't plan to review the Housewives of Potomac. This season 9, it has been uneventful. So I'm not going to review it. I watched it, but I wasn't really impressed with this season. It's been pretty boring. I think they missed some really, really good opportunities, especially with Candace having her baby. I do realize, congratulations to Candace Diller Bassett, who had her baby boy named Jet. But it was like a prime opportunity to have a really, really good storyline with her having the baby this season. So that was kind of, it's kind of like, I understand if Candace had to step away, for her health, for her sanity, all of that, just to make sure that she was able to carry her baby in a healthy way and to deliver him, and to make sure she had a safe and happy and healthy delivery. Totally get it. But Candace, I do miss you. I honestly do. I know a lot of people don't. They don't really see a difference without Candace, but I do. Storylines are very big on these housewife franchises, so sometimes we need a storyline to sort of carry us through the season, especially when there isn't a whole lot going on. And Candace's journey of becoming a mom, I think, was a huge storyline for Potomac. So missed opportunity. But again, we are here to talk about what it is now. Karen also had a very big storyline. Of course, we know Karen was drunk driving and she was actually arrested. And Karen didn't talk too much about it during the season. And now it's come out, the seating chart for the Real Housewives of Potomac, their actual seating chart was out. Of course, Karen was MIA. A little suspect. We have gotten a little word that perhaps Karen went to rehab. I just think that this would have been a prime opportunity for Karen to come clean. Sometimes it's not about telling everyone else. It's sometimes about becoming clean and sort of admitting things to yourself. And I think I wanted to see Karen take a little more accountability and responsibility for what she had done. Like I said, again, she doesn't owe anyone an explanation. But again, I think Karen is at an age now where she should understand the importance of accountability and also just set an example. That's what I wanted to say. She needs to set an example. She is very blessed, very fortunate to be on this show. She has this platform. And so, we don't always want to actually see all the negative stuff. We want to see the positive things too. Karen's DUI and this arrest was something negative, but she could have actually made it positive by really just sort of taking ownership of what she had done and said, hey, I'm getting too old for this. This is not something that I need to be doing, and I need to get better, whether it's rehab or whatever, or stepping away from the show, whatever it is. But I wanted to see Karen say something. I am a little disappointed in the Grand Dame because I am a fan of Karen. I really like Karen. I've always liked Karen from the beginning. And I really wanted to see her kind of sort of take this thing by the reins and just really take responsibility for it. I've said it in my first video. I'm from DC, and I know that drunk driving, having DUIs and drunk driving is something that is taken seriously all across the United States, but it's definitely something that is taken very seriously in the courts here in the DMV. So I'm not sure what the outcome of her case will be. I wish her all the best. I certainly don't want to see anything happen to her. So again, I just wish her all the best, and hope Karen can get some help with that. Potomac, talking about Potomac, for me, like I said, I'm from the area, and I want people to know that Potomac is a very wealthy, affluent area. What we see on TV is not actually what it is. You have some of your top athletes, you have entertainers, you have some of your wealthiest business tycoons living in Potomac. They have estates with plenty of land, plenty of acres. We're looking at, this stuff, and we're thinking, I know some people call it Poor-tomac. And it does appear that way. Shout out to Ronnie the Voice. Ronnie the Voice always says, he talks about this video. There was a lady that's called the Maserati lady. She was driving a nice Maserati, and the guy was interviewing her, and he just happened to ask her, what do you do? And she says, what do I do? Excuse me? What do you mean? I mean, I'm married. Like, oh my God. Like, how dare you ask me such a dumb question? So I wanted to say that, Rodney, and to everyone else, there are plenty of Maserati ladies here in the DMV. I don't know if they don't want to be on television, or, they just don't want their lives shown, but Potomac is a very, very wealthy, affluent area. So I just want people to know that, hey, what you see on TV, that ain't it. That's not a good representation. Even with the fashions, like, if you come to DC, like, DC is definitely like a fashion city. I mean, people dress really, really nicely. I don't even care if you're wearing, sweatpants or sweatshirt and jeans. People are very much together. The culture here is definitely, we have a culture here where, it doesn't matter your race, it doesn't matter your gender or your ethnicity. People look really nice here. Like, if you're going to, the basketball games, if you're going to the Commanders game, the football team, the football game. I mean, shout out to the Commanders and Jaden Daniels, who's doing an extremely good job. Oh my God, go Commanders. But anyway, if you're just hanging out, going to concerts, going to dinner, brunch, whatever the case may be, people here in the DMV, they dress really nice. So what we see, again, on the Real Housewives of Potomac is not a good representation of what this city is. DC is very old money. It's centered around politics, but there's a lot of old money here, and there are also a lot of young wealthy people here. Where they're buying the sky high, the penthouse, luxury penthouse suite apartments, and we have influencers, people who are doing extremely well. There are also other counties in Maryland that are extremely wealthy and affluent. I even think the neighborhood where Candace lives, like I said, there are some really, really, really nice homes in that area. So I don't think it's a good representation. Also Virginia, because that's just like right across the bridge, 15-minute drive. Again, there are some really, really wealthy, affluent neighborhoods, and people are living well. So I just want to give people another perspective of how or what the DMV is. I don't want them to think that, okay, this city, what is this like? No, Potomac is not really Potomac. It's actually the other way around, but we just have not seen that. I don't want to actually, this is not to like put down the girls who are on the show, but again, I think that the really, really rich people and that really have the money, they just don't want to be on TV. But anyway, we're going to go on. So I did take some notes. As you can see, I try, like I said, some things you can kind of talk about off the top of your heads, but then I do kind of want to take some notes and just kind of go on that. I did get out what I wanted to say about Potomac, and then also what I wanted to say about Potomac as well is that I don't know where Potomac's going to go. I think that's where I am. I have a lot of notes written down, but I don't know where Potomac's going to go. Only because their storylines for the past few seasons have been made up of vicious lies that really took a toll on the show. We know what happened with the accusations against Chris, and then prior to that, it was Wendy with Eddie, and it's just there's always something going on around surrounding someone's husband, and I don't think that's actually been good for the show. So we come to season 9, Candace is gone and Robin is gone. Ashley had nothing going on. Again, Karen was not going to be upfront and honest about what was going on with her. Giselle never has anything going on. We were introduced to Stacy, who does actually have a little storyline. Stacy is, the little quirky lady, and she had like a real strange relationship with TJ. But again, that was something new. We were also introduced to Kiana and Jossie, and Jacqueline is back for like maybe this. She's been a friend of the show, I think, once or twice, but she's now back on the show. And we really didn't get anything. Of course, Mia's storyline led. The whole storyline with Mia and Gordon and Ink. That definitely sort of took over the season. There was some possible paternity issues. Of course, Gordon was going through because Mia, has made it publicly known that she was in a relationship with Ink, and didn't seem like the kids were too happy about it, which is always devastating when your children have to go through that. But again, this storyline, it took over, but I can honestly say that Mia honestly doesn't have anywhere else to go. What else is Mia going to talk about other than the fact, is she going to come back and tell us that she slept with Gordon's brother? Because other than that, she's hit the ceiling. There's nowhere else for her to go. I know Carlos King, shout out to Carlos King. Carlos said that, Mia was the future of the Real Housewives of Potomac, but I'm still questioning that, Carlos. Carlos, love you dearly, but I'm questioning that because, again, where else is she going to go? What else can she tell us? We have seen her have her ex-husband living in the same apartment building with her. She's dating publicly in front of her children and in front of the world, while she just recently separated from her husband. Now she tells us that there's a potential case, or there's a potential or the potential that one of her children does not even belong to her husband, Gordon. What else are we going to do? I mean, Gordon has announced that he is bipolar, and, certainly I don't know about that medical condition, but when Gordon is on the show, he seems very, very clear to me. He seems to know exactly what's going on. I don't know what happens when you have those bouts with the bipolarism. I really don't know, and I'm not going to sit here and question that. But again, Gordon seems to be very, very clear. He's very articulate. He seems to express himself very, very well. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, when is he having all of these episodes that Mia is talking about? Mia, you did your big one, girl, but I think that may be it. You wanted to go there. You wanted to give us something. But at the same time, too, you've hit the ceiling. There's nowhere else. Like the shock value that Mia wanted to give us, it's done. It's over. It's gone. There's nowhere else to go. So I don't know where Potomac will go. The other question is, will Karen come back next season? That's up in the air. There's a 50-50 chance. I don't see Andy actually getting rid of Karen. This is just my opinion. I don't see Andy getting rid of Karen. But I think Karen might just need to take a break for herself. Again, the flip side of that, if you turn that coin over, I don't know if this would actually make Karen spiral downward anymore, just because she is so used to being on this show. We are creatures of habit. And although, like I said, they're very fortunate to be on television, this opportunity, it comes, but it can also be taken away from you very quickly. And like I said, again, I don't know how it would affect Karen if she weren't on the show. So again, we didn't get much this season. I don't know what they could do about season 10. Hopefully Candace will come back. Perhaps Robin will come back. How much of an impact they will have, of course, we just don't know, because again, Candace still has to kind of blend back in with this group. There was a lot of turmoil, especially with her and Giselle. And it seems like Giselle was toned down this season. I'm sure she had to go to the principal's office, and she was somewhat reprimanded and probably told, hey, you're going to have to play nice. Because really, that's not Giselle. Giselle really wants to get into the mess of it all. But Giselle doesn't have anybody to play with that much. And then two, she's walking a fine line, and you can kind of tell that's what she's doing. Giselle is not herself. And I would like to see Giselle. I would like to hear more about the date that she went on, to see if she's still talking to that guy. I mean, the date seemed okay. He seemed like a really cool guy. Of course, we're just watching it for like, a 5-minute scene. So I would love to see what's going on with that. But there's, again, guys, Potomac was just, A, it was boring. B, it was boring. C, it was boring. Like, we could just go on and on and on about how slow it was. It wasn't as heavy or as dark as it has been, but then at the same time, it still wasn't light enough where they gave us any meat. We got no meat and potatoes. It was just like a little salad. Like, when you want meat and potatoes and you're really hungry, you want something that's going to fill you and, hit that gut and make you feel, you're not hungry anymore. Well, we haven't gotten any of that at all with this season. So I don't really know where they're going to go. There's so many things being thrown out, so many things being said. Of course, there's so many rumors circulating, but again, we don't know. Karen, I hope that Karen gets the help that she needs. Alcoholism is a big thing. And sometimes, like they said, the first step is to admit that you have a problem. I was pretty upset to see the videos and how drunk Karen was. Of course, people were talking about how far that wig she had on, how that looked, the things that Karen was saying throughout the video. But at the end of the day, it was very hard to watch. It was sad because Karen was really drunk. Like, and this is not even an ageist thing, because I'm not an ageist and I know you have to be careful, but Karen, you're in your 60s. I know you want to be, you fly. Karen is a fly 60-plus-year-old lady. But Karen, you let those Maseratis and those sports cars go. Number one, you have no business drinking and driving, but perhaps maybe that car has a little bit too much power for you. Like, girl, you might need to go and get you a Mercedes-Benz GLE, wagon, a little SUV or something like that, and call it a day. Honey, the sports cars are not for you, because not only were you drinking, but as you get older, this is just with anything, your reflexes aren't the same. I am in my 40s. I'm certainly not, I'm close to 50 years old, but I am not how I was in my late 20s. And so someone who's in their late 60s are not the same as I am in my late 40s. So, we have to kind of take those things into consideration too. Like, girl, put those keys down. Like, a Maserati or any type of sports car is just not for you. We know you like the speed and it's sexy and you feel sexy in it, but girl, you might need a minivan. Like, that's where we are at this point. Number one, don't drive. If you're drinking, you should not be driving at all. You have enough money to call an Uber or Lyft and get someone to chauffeur you around. But again, if you're going to drive, even going forward, Karen, a sports car just may not be it for you, girl. So anyway, again, I just wanted to do like a quick video about that. What do you think? What do you think? Hopefully I don't even want to think about Karen really being found guilty and having to do time. Hopefully it's nothing, it will not come to that. But what do you think's going to happen? I mean, like I said, do you think Karen's going to come back? Do you think she'll be fired or put on pause? And what's the state of Potomac? Where are they going to go after this season? What are they going to do? Are they going to bring some of the former housewives back? I know even Monique's name has been thrown out there. Do you think they're going to bring some people back? Do you think Candace and Robin are coming back? What do you think? Do you think Ashley should go? Like, what do you think should be done with the show? Let me know in the comments what you think. I would really appreciate that. Because again, this is something that, we're seeing, and yeah, I really like Potomac. I was proud of the Potomac girls when they first came out. Of course, there was a run with it was called the Real Housewives of DC, and then that didn't last. And so when they brought back Potomac, I was really proud because again, there are some wealthy, affluent people in this area, and there are a lot of influencers and a lot of people, socialites, and people that you would probably enjoy seeing on television. Why they have not picked them, I do not know. But I was kind of happy that Potomac, they were representing Potomac on television. And again, their seasons, they were starting to grow, they were starting to get better. But then it took a turn, and when they started really, like, it started with them with the rumor about Monique's baby not belonging to her husband, Chris. Okay, that was like strike one. Strike two was when Wendy had her plastic surgery. Shout out to Dr. Wendy Osefo with the 4 degrees. I love Wendy. It took a turn. A second strike was when they, perhaps accused Eddie of maybe dealing with someone on the internet or something like that. And then third strike, OUT, you're out. This whole assault thing between Giselle and Chris, that really just like tipped a lot of people like over the edge. It was like, okay, where can they go? Because is that what you're going to do? Is that what this show is going to be based upon, around tearing up families and marriages? Like, is that what it is? And of course, some people may say, well, if the marriage is solid, then nothing will happen. True. But again, your entire show should not be based on that. It's up to Candace and Chris to tell their story. It would be up to Wendy and Eddie to tell their story. It would be up to Monique at that time and Chris to tell their story. It's not for anyone else to try to tell their story. So, we'll see. But anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, like the video. If you liked it, of course, just click like and subscribe to my channel. I have some other things coming soon. Like I said, I just want to keep the momentum going and just to come to you guys. I really appreciate your support. And I like doing this. This is something new for me, but I like it. So I'm going to continue to do it. So again, just let me know what you think. Drop me a comment. Just say, hey, if you want to do that, just say, hey, Erica. You don't even have to comment on the show. But if you would like to, hey, drop me a comment and I'll respond back. All right. See you soon. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend, and love, love, love. See you soon. Bye.